tell you guys my experience. I was one of those people that was like, yes, I really want to breastfeed because it's really good for the baby and it would help me like lose weight and it's overall good, right? So they really wanted the baby to be like unclothed whenever you breastfeed. So I would get his clothes off, but as I was taking his clothes off, he would scream bloody murder because he hates being cold. So then once I would get him undressed, I'd put him on there and then he'd just fall asleep with my nipple just in his mouth, just passed out. So, and then I'd be like, okay, I guess he's not hungry. So I'd put his clothes all back on and then put him back in the bed, and then he would like cry. And I'm like, oh, and act like he wanted to eat. So then I'm like, crap. So then I'd just take his clothes back off, put him back on there, and the same thing would happen. It was exhausting. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? So I started to try to pump, and then the lactation specialist kind of made me feel bad about pumping for some reason. And she's like, so why are we pumping? And I'm like, because he's not like taking my breast, and I don't want to be the only one responsible for feeding him every single time. Like, that sounds exhausting. Also, something that they don't tell you is those afterbirth contractions that I was getting. Yeah, breastfeeding makes those way worse. I was in so much pain. So the thought of stimulating my all sore nipple, it hurts to breastfeed. I mean, he latched onto my nipple one time and was biting down on it so hard with his gums that I was almost in tears trying to get his mouth off of my nipple. So after 2 nights of this, I was boohooing, crying, and I called the nurse and I was like, can I please have some formula in here? And when she came in the room, I was like, do a lot of women break down and just switch to formula? And she was like, listen, honey, you don't need to feel pressure to do anything that you don't want to do. After all, this is your baby. You're the one going home with it. And you are the one, as long as your baby is getting the nutrients that it needs, that's all that matters. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about not breastfeeding. If it's not for you, it's not for you. And I just like, thank you so much. I just needed to hear that. And so I have been trying to like pump. I don't do the like mouth to nipple thing, but I've been trying to pump when I can. I only do it like once or twice a day, and I give him that, and then we supplement with formula. So that's how we're doing it.